Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review and a demo using the new Urban Decay Cherry collection. I'm using the eye palette, the cheek palette, the lip products, and the setting spray. And they also sent me some eyeliners. I just don't know if they're unique to the Cherry collection, but I did use one of them. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised when I saw all of the PR going out for this and everyone talking about it, because after they literally laid the OG Naked palette to rest, I kind of thought we were done with that, but they're gonna keep rolling these out, I guess. I think I have, is this true? I have every single Naked palette that there is. General, they're all very consistent in terms of performance, but they're all just a little bit different in terms of shade range. And before we get started, please make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell, because, you know, YouTube be playing in these streets and you might never see me again otherwise. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Guys, going in with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry eyeshadow palette. I already have my eyes primed and I use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer at Potion and Eden. I didn't just use that because it's an Urban Decay themed video. I used it because I use that literally every day. So I'm going to take my palette and mix Juicy and Feels together on my JH30 brush. I'm mostly going to be using the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collection during this video because I talked about it in my favorites video. I've been using this collection of brushes almost exclusively lately, so they will be popping up a lot in this video. I don't have a code. I'm not an affiliate, but I do like them. Before I get this party started, I'm going to go ahead and put some translucent powder underneath my eyes or right here on my cheeks. I've been trying not to bake much, but since I never do my face makeup first and I tend to get a little messy with my eyeshadow, I feel like this is the best way to make sure that I don't end up with fallout all over my cheeks if these shadows do have fallout, that is. I'm going to try to move quickly because I typically do not like to leave baking powder on as long as it's going to take me to do my eyeshadow because it brightens it up too much, so hopefully this works out in the end. Surprising me, not one tiny bit at all. These colors are pigmented, blendable, smooth, buttery, all that good stuff. I definitely feel like when it comes to Urban Decay as a line, they tend to be one of the more solid lines product to product. I think I've said that before. There's nothing really from them I've tried and didn't like. There might be collections or launches that come out that I just kind of feel like aren't super exciting just because there's so much stuff coming out all the time, as we all know. But in terms of product itself, they're always well done. I'm taking this all the way in. I'm just getting really messy with it because I really want to do like, I feel like doing like a vampy look. I haven't done a fall tutorial yet, and this will be my first one, I guess. I'm gonna take the JH32. Let's go with the color Bang. I'm keeping this kind of high. Once again, taking it pretty much from inner corner to outer corner, feathering it inward. Trying to use as many shades in here as I can, at least with the mattes, because mattes are typically a little more difficult to get right. So if a palette has good pigmentation and blendability in their matte shades, then obviously I have faith that the shimmers will work just fine. Next, I'm going to take a MAC 221, I think this is a 221 brush, and the color Devilish, and I'll take that a little bit lower, and I'm just going to pack this on. As I said, I want to go really, really smoky and vampy today, so we might as well bring it. That was really nerdy. So these colors are very pretty. I have a lot of magenta shades, a lot of purples, and a lot of pinks in my collection, but they're not quite like this. I'm not gonna lie, initially when I saw this palette, I was like, did we do the pink and reds like 2 years ago? Urban Decay, you're a little late in the game, but these are a little special. They're different. They're not quite as like fuchsia as I feel like the Modern Renaissance palette is. If you're looking to compare the two, I don't think these are super similar as far as like those kind of magenta shades they have. These are just kind of just a true berry shade. Next, mixing Devilish and Bing on this MAC brush. I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line. I'm going to take the JH40 brush and also the color Privacy, which is the darkest matte color in the palette. So initially in the pan, I thought this color Privacy was going to be like a brown shade. It didn't look like a true plum or purple tone. For me, when you're working with colors that are in this family, your pinks, your purples, your reds, your burgundy, I usually use a deep plum shade to deepen them up. but I honestly think that they did a great job pairing these shades together, because I wouldn't normally gravitate for a color that looked like this in the pan, but the way it's playing with the other shades is really nice. I'm going to start putting that dark color underneath my lash line. I'm going to take a little bit of Bing and just kind of make sure I didn't totally lose it through my blending. As I do in pretty much every look, I'm going to take a little bit of black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to use this one from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know why I can't talk today. The Jaclyn Hill palette called Abyss in the outer corner. The shimmers in this palette are a little of this and a little of that. There is two kind of more berry shades. One of them is like a deep, dark kind of burgundy color. There is one called Young Love, which is a little more in line with this kind of cranberry shade that I've got working on the eyes. There is one called Ambitious that's really coppery. One called Turn On that's more of like a champagne. And then there's a color in the front called Bang Bang, which is the only one in here that I don't know. It's not doing anything for me. It's not doing much on my hand, at least. We'll see what happens when I put it on the eye. I'm going to start off with the color Young Love and see how I feel. I might add a couple other shades as well on the lid. I'm going to do a little differently on this eye than I did this eye, and I'll have to fix this one later, but I'm going to start off with putting Drunk Dial out here in the outer corner a little bit. And then I'm going to blend the color Young Love into that. I would definitely wet your brush when working with these, but I mean, I honestly always wet my brush when I'm working with a shimmer. So the majority of the fallout I've experienced has definitely been from the shimmery colors. I'm so scared of what's going to happen when I rub this baking powder away. It's like, the fear is very real. Putting a little bit of the color Ambitious here in my tear duct area to blend into the Young Love. I think it's going to help make it a little more interesting than just like a flat monochromatic magenta moment here on the lid. Now I'm gonna dust away this baking powder. Looks pretty good. If I gotta fix all this under eye stuff, it's gonna suck. Oh, happy day. I'm gonna put the color Bang Bang right in my tear duct area. I'm going to take this eyeliner called Love Drug and put this in my waterline, staying away from the tear duct and kind of running it along my lower lashes. I'm going to put the color Hot Spot right underneath my brow. I don't really get like super excited about a brow highlight anymore, but I want to use as many shades as possible. Off camera, I'm going to do liner and lashes, and then I will be right back. Alright, so this is the eyes done. I really like the look. It reminds me a lot of kind of that red burgundy smoky eye I was into a few years ago, but in my opinion, this is just a little bit more of a true berry shade. I do really like it. So I'm going to move on to blush and highlighter using the Naked Cherry palette. I really like this blush color. It ties in really well with the eye look, and it's just like this juicy kind of fresh flush to the cheeks. The downside to this blush palette is I'm not sure these highlighting shades would work on a very wide variety of skin tones. Trying to keep it away from this breakout, because you definitely don't want to highlight a breakout. I never feel like my highlight really shows up on camera, so you guys probably aren't seeing it and how it performs, but it is a really nice formula. Like I said, I just don't think it's going to work on a super wide variety of skin tones, that being like the main drawback. But if you're in my skin tone area a little bit darker, you could definitely use this. There are 3 lipsticks I have here from the Naked Cherry collection. Really only one of them is an option for me, because 2 of them are metallized or metallic formula, and I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't know who this trend works for. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't care for it one bit. If you are interested in metallized lipsticks, I feel like Urban Decay consistently comes out with new metallized formulas every time they launch a new collection. Nude one is called Juicy, which is also the name of a shadow in the palette, and the pink one is called Devilish, which is also a shade in the palette. It's just not my thing, not into it, and even if it was, like I said, I kind of wanted to go vampy. My choice today, I'm going to do the color called Cherry. True deep black cherry shade. Line my lips using this Makeup Forever lip liner in the color 13C. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but it's what I'm using. So that's the color on, and while I do like the color, I don't really like the formula when it comes to a dark lipstick. I tend to go for mattes that are dark, or I'm gonna go like all the way glossy. So to get all the way glossy, I'm going to take the color Beso, which is a High Fine Shine gloss or Urban Decay, and just kind of, we're just going to go there. This actually wasn't the color I meant to grab, but it'll do. Last thing I'm going to do is take the Urban Decay All Nighter Cherry Scented Spray. Not gonna lie, I do not like the way Urban Decay All Nighter smells, so maybe this would be a little bit of an improvement. Alright guys, this is the completed look. I guess I will tell you my final thoughts on this collection. I already kind of gave the rundown about how I feel about the lips. If you really like metallized lipstick, I really can't tell you if it's a good metallized formula because I literally never use them, so I don't know. That could be the best thing since sliced bread or not so much. The cherry color that I'm wearing that I put on first, I do really like the color. Not so much the formula, but that's just got a lot more to do with the fact that I don't like dark or bold colors that are not a true liquid lipstick that's maybe like matte. But the actual texture of the formula, the way that it went on, was very nice. I think the most unique thing for me in this entire collection is honestly this blush color. Not sure if it's unique for the cosmetic industry or just unique for me because I don't own anything like it, but I feel like this is the blush I'm going to pull for a lot during the fall. Formula of the highlighters, I think this more kind of gold beige shade is a little bit nicer than the white one. The white one is a little bit chalky and it has kind of a pink shift into it. I just don't really care for it. Highlighter and me right now are not best friends as it goes, simply because I have so much texture on my cheeks, but hopefully I get that sorted out and I can be a little bit better about showing you guys actually how the highlighter looks on camera. But for the blush alone, I would be getting this because it's such a pretty color. Cherry All Nighter Spray. I'm wondering if this is going to come out in a full size. I don't really know. They just sent me a small one. All Nighter is a staple. Everyone should own it. It's one of the best products on the market. The scent is not especially, fragrant. It kind of smells like cherry Dimetapp, but it's just kind of a cool idea to change the scent up. As far as the palette goes, I do really love this palette. If I was going to create a look using this palette and still incorporating other shades from other palettes in it, I could have come up with something a little bit more groundbreaking, but all these tones are very pigmented. They work well together. They work well on their own. The only colors I didn't end up using are Drunk Dial and Turn On, but the rest of them I tried to find a way to incorporate into the look so I can give you an overall opinion. If I had to rate the Naked Cherry palette on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give it a 5 just based on the performance and the color selection, but in terms of like, do you need this? Is this groundbreaking in some way? Not so much. We've got about 1 million palettes out on the market. I feel like lately that is all we are seeing as eyeshadow palettes, so don't break the bank going to get this. But if you are a collector of makeup, if you really enjoy this kind of shade range, or if you're looking to have a palette in your collection that is kind of neutral but also with a bit of a punch of color to it, then this would be really good for you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you have not. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!